ISPaD, the Partition Documentation Committee project that we have for several years. I'm welcoming all of you. Thank you for coming and joining us. We will have the opening song by Devasri Bhattacharya, and she will also do the invocation before we start our regular meeting. And then we have several speakers. Two of them I don't see yet, Ramen Nandi and Khurshidul Islam. Both are members of ISPaD. And then Shubho will present an office setup, social media, internet traffic, and Wikipedia. All these things we'll explain. And then Priyasasde will speak and Dilip now. And after that, we have the, Sachi will introduce the speakers and the guests. And the guests will be given a chance to speak, those who will be here. And if somebody else who is not on the list would like to talk, they are welcome. And then after that, refreshments will be served and there will be socializing. Thank you.
Good morning, Suprabhat to everybody. Saturday morning.
Afternoon already.
Oh, sorry. I am running behind. Pardon me for my rough voice. Anyway, it is the first time we are doing ISPaD Open House for suggestions and feedback, and we will let you know what we do as a ISPaD organization. And now I am going to introduce a very talented singer, Dr. Devasri Bhattacharya. She has a very, very lengthy biodata, but I will make it very short. She had her PhD for Indian classical music, and she graduated All India Radio and TV artist. She is actually singing for Indian classical, semi-classical, and light music. But she is very much talented because she does sing in different languages, which is mainly Bengali, Punjabi, and Hindi. So you can hear from her one of these days all three languages. And she actually went to school for music from Pandit Devdas Ganguly. She learned ghazals from Ustad Alauddin Khan and attended summer workshop under the guidance of legendary Pandit Bhimsen Joshi. She had received numerous awards. I will mention a couple of those. One is awarded Saraswati Samman from United Nations very recently in 2011, and then Pride of Nations, she got that award in 2005 from India, and it was given by the Honorable Chief Justice of India for her contribution in Indian art and culture. So with that, I will now introduce Devasri for her music. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shefali Dostira, for such beautiful words. I'm glad to be here, and this is my pleasure to be a part of this program that gives me the immense opportunity to interact with such learned and nice people out here. I would like to start with the chanting of Upanishad that is also quite relevant so far as the spirit of this organization goes. So without wasting any more time, I'll start with the shlok. Sangachadvam यथा वा सुसहासति सङ्गच्छध्वं संवदध्वं संवो मनांसि जानताम् सङ्गच्छध्वं संवदध्वं संवो मनांसि जानताम् 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 जानताम्. Before the commencement of the entire program, I would like to remember and we would like to worship Lord Ganesha, who is always being remembered for always having something good amongst us. जगवन्दना गाये गणपति जगवन्दना गाये गणपति जगवन्दना गाये 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 गणपति जगवन्दना गाये गणपति जगवन्दना गाये गणपति जगवन्दना सिद्धि सदन गज बदन विनायक सिद्धि सदन गज बदन विनायक सिद्धि सदन गज बदन विनायक कृपा सिंधु सुंदर सा ga ma ni sa ga re sa ni pa pa ga ma ga re sa gai ganapati jagavandana pani sa re ga ma ga re sa ni pani sa re ga re sa ni pani sa gai ganapati jagavandana gai ganapati Jagavandana Gare ga ba ni sa ni pa pa ga ba ni sa ni sa re re ga ba ni sa Gai Ganapati Jagavandana Gai Ganapati
Pratik, you're not going to say anything?
I already said it.
Okay, alright, then you go to Pratik.
Next one.
You go? You don't? Okay. Alright. Then you go.
Yeah.
Namaskar. I would like to give thanks to the organizer, ISPaD, especially who is leading behind it tremendously, Dr. The and Mrs. The, and also the great contributor to this institute, Shubho The, and his wife, Shumeda The. I would like to give my cordial thanks to all the guests who came today to encourage the institution's activities. Actually, I know that it is very difficult to manage the time, especially I can say from my point of view that it is very difficult to contribute our time to the events and the activities which is really for the special purpose, and the benefit goes to the people who are really suffering in this world. And I am one of them. So this is the witness, I would like to say the guests who are new about ISPaD and who actually don't know about the activities of ISPaD. And I would like to say that one of their tremendous activities is collecting the information and documenting the information about the tremendous sufferings and heartfelt sufferings from the people, the Hindus, especially living in Asian region. So I would say especially from Bangladeshi Hindus who are suffering such a way that nobody knows about the story behind it, and even they themselves cannot explain. If you tell me what is your suffering, I cannot explain. But what I can say, the story, a little story, how I was surviving the attack, which is actually mainly was organized by extremists, the Islamic extremists. The main behind the Islamic extremists, and they can do it, though Bangladeshi Hindus are minority and majority Muslims, I mean out of majority Muslims only 10% or even 5% are extremists. But the other 95% Muslims, they can do nothing. Why? When 5 and 10% of extremists are doing the massacre. So that was the suffering. So I cannot explain, I cannot tell, I cannot ask for administrative support. The police, law and order, where can do nothing. Absolutely the same way as I told you, 95% of the Muslims they can see and observe when 5% of extremists are doing these massacres. So today's activity is only not that. The Shubho especially and Mr. Dostidar, Dr. Dostidar, what they are doing tremendously, spending their time and money, and also this is money, I mean, who are contributing their time, encouraging us, and also thinking for us. I would like to give thanks, and also that information is very, very useful. I hope you all can go to YouTube and you can see hundreds of people's interview, the authentic interview, the witness, even myself, one of them. So hopefully I would not like to spend time to explain that. If I start talking, it will take ages and time will spend. I know that lots of events is waiting for that today's activity, and I hope, and I would ask all of them who want to say their stories and who want to register their name and want to interview, I would like to contact Shubho and also ISPaD's people who are responsible for that. And it will be a help for us, and also through the activity it will go to the people who are really needs help. And I would like to thanks today's people who came here and who organized here. And there are people who really couldn't attend to this meeting, but behind the ISPaD organization, they are helping us, contributing the time and money, and also all the activities, their support. So thanks to all, and hope this path will proceed with their activities in future. Thank you very much.
Sorry, let me just add one more thing. You can see this gentleman's interview in YouTube, but also during our last conference, he presented a paper, his own story, and people were riveted that his own house, he saw it burned down, how his uncle was burned to death, but that clip is also available through YouTube. All our interviews, individual interviews, personal stories are there. So he's a courageous man, he works very hard, and I thank especially his to bring this PA system for his own. Thank you very much.
Say your name again, please.
Priyotosh-De.
Yes.
Priyotosh-De. Lives near.
He is our neighbor, actually. Yes.
So, yeah, we should. Okay, let Shubho say, and then we'll have Khurshidul Islam.
Okay, I'm just going to start out by saying thank you all for coming. And then I'm going to read my speech which I wrote because instead of my usual banter at one of our events, I'm going to try to employ the concept of an elevator speech. It's supposed to be a short description of what I and ISPaD is doing and why it's important, and saying a lot in a few words. And it's supposed to go on for the time it takes to take an elevator ride. It's supposed to be grabbing your all attention and making you all want to know more. I'm actually very, very fortunate that I'm giving my elevator speech today for two reasons. One, you folks are already here, and of your own volition, I think. And two, this elevator that we're going to be riding is going to the top of the Empire State Building and stopping at every floor. And I'm wearing slippers as well in this elevator, so it's a very comfortable elevator. So the Indian Subcontinent Partition Documentation Project, or ISPaD, provides a physical location for the documentation of partition. I say physical because much of our work, and I don't know how much of it you folks have already seen, but much of it has been done using social media on the internet. And ISPaD's all over the internet. And basically, this, in one sense, validates us because our presence on the internet is accompanied by this space. And, but that doesn't mean that I don't want to belittle our work on the internet, because people from different organizations have been already quoting and citing what we've got on the internet. So please do take a look at what we've got up there. But our interviews have been done in places like, of course, the US, to Bangladesh, India, and even to Burma, or I think that's Myanmar now. But all that's up on YouTube. And in 10 years, our volunteers have interviewed, I think it's gotten to the point where it's over 200 people of every faith and region of the Indian subcontinent. We work with no salaries, but get paid by the success of spreading our knowledge of a Holocaust that goes on well after partition in 47 and 71. Our executive director, he has spoken in front of the UN and US Congress about the issues that ISPaD focuses on. We're the only organization of our kind, as our funding is almost exclusively by charitable individuals, and no huge foundation or university backs us yet. And we've now got a physical space in a neighborhood whose demographics lends itself to finding potential interviewees, and the organizations with huge pockets are using our work as reference materials still. Now, about our presence on the internet, the growth of the internet has made me proficient in the usage of Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Tumblr, Pinterest, LinkedIn, and most recently Joomla, as I created the ISPaD site, finished this morning, www.ispad1947.org. Please go see it. And I'm desperately trying to get the ISPaD project recognized and validated under the guidelines of Wikipedia, but I must admit we are shy on media credentials for our organization, so if you can get a third party that's a legitimate media source to write about us, that'll actually go a long way for helping us get the ISPaD project officially listed in the online encyclopedia Wikipedia. People tell us that if ISPaD didn't exist, their stories wouldn't have received any attention, and we would be gone forever, rather. We've got books you wouldn't find anywhere else in our library, and we've got oral histories recorded of people who've already passed away. An example is actually my own uncle. And so basically, ISPaD offers so much more than just what's on the internet and just what's in this room. It offers basically everything that a partition documentation project could offer. And another thing is that I'm just going to say it outright, that we do take donations. And this little item, I could swipe your credit card on it, or you can go to our website and you can click the donate button, and if you've got a PayPal account or a credit card, we do take that. We take cash as well. That being said, thank you very much for the musical rendition, which I know Baba has attempted on our harmonium at home. And again, thank you all for coming and your support.
Mr. Khurshidul Islam, one of our hard-working activists.
Dear brothers and sisters, really it is heartbreaking to tell or to hear any story from different countries, especially from India, from Bangladesh, the religious minority, the ethnic minorities, everywhere in the world, they are suffering, and especially in Bangladesh and in Indian subcontinent, it's happening so brutally. As all the weak peoples, as women are suffering, the minority, all ethnic, maybe religious and other kind, they are suffering. India, thousands of years, all the religious, peacefully they were living. When British gone there, they divided people to rule their country according to India, according to the religious. As in South Africa, they divided black and white. Still, our political leaders, they're getting benefit, dividing people, and they can rule it. So, still, the division is continuing and suffering is continuing. And all the minority peoples, they are suffering the tears, the rape, the every negative things are happening every day. Now, we don't only want to express the history or the past. We have to go to the future, to a positive way, how we can solve the problem. You know, the British, not only British, whole Europe fought each other. The British fought against the French, each other, more than 200 years. Then they have done First World War, then Second World War. They fought each other. Now, they understood that what we are doing, let us be unified. Now they are unified in Europe, and they are unified and not giving their money to war, to fight, to kill each other. Now they are trying to survive and develop and help each other. But still, other than Europe, still in Asia, in our Indian subcontinent, everywhere we are fighting each other. Especially, you see in the Middle East, all the Muslims, they are fighting each other in different groups. If Shia, Sunni, if you are in mosque, other group is coming to kill you. And when he is going to prayer, the next group is coming to kill them. So, all the brothers are killing other brothers. So it is the way now, especially now, this extremism coming especially from the political use of religion. Especially the Saudi Arabia is doing, making this problem, especially the political Islam, Wahhabi Islam, the extremism, their propaganda is everywhere, even in America. You know, the 9/11, who have done that? All the Saudi people. But American people, where they have gone? They have gone to Afghanistan, gone to Iraq. The Iraqi people and the Afghan people not came to destroy the Twin Tower. So, but Saudi people are the friend of the ruling class of the America. So you see, it is a political matter. America wants democracy everywhere, but not in Saudi Arabia. Is it a good thing? No. And Saudi Arabia is exporting the dangerous political propaganda, religious extremism everywhere. And he is the main friend of USA. So we have to, as the citizen of America now, we have to tell our leader we don't want any war. We give tax to survive, to live in peace. We don't want any war. If we want democracy in our country, we want democracy everywhere. We are not the international police to go everywhere and collapsing our economy and close our school, close our hospital. In Queens, you see how many schools? Here, the Jamaica High School closed after the war of Afghanistan and Iraq. So many hospitals closed in our Queens. Why? Only to give money for Afghanistan and Iraq? Why we shall go there? Whether we have changed their life? Democracy have to come from the people, from the bottom, not from top, it will not come from America. So every nation had to build their own. We can't go everywhere to export our democracy. So now we have to take our lesson from history and go forward. And we want peace. As the European people united for peace, we want peace. Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, if all the countries become united, one, then there will be no war. No budget for defense, only for people. People is not getting food, not getting health benefit, they have any shelter above their head. But government is giving their money for war, for army. What is happening? Everywhere you can see that. So we want to get rid of all these negative things. All our human beings are brothers and sisters. Let us live together and peacefully let us come forward everywhere. That is why this documentation is important, to take lesson from history and come forward for the future peacefully. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm supposed to be saying a few words. Then I'm going to introduce Dr. Wayne Edwards would say. Then we have a guest, Mrs. Shubhra Goswami. Then Dr. Kusumita Peterson. And if there is somebody else want to say a few words, you can. But let me just tell you, at least for the record, that we have 3 of our board members are here. Mr. Pradeep Dasgupta is sitting in the back, and Shefali, Dr. Shefali Dostidar is busy back there, and I'm one of those. Dr. Tom Lilly is SUNY professor. He is at a conference today. And Dr. Rudranath Talukdar of Texas, he is in India now. And Mr. Dilip Nath, he is supposed to be here, but I don't see him. And then we have a lot of volunteers, people who have worked hard, very hard, like Mr. Khurshidul Islam. We have our intern, Radvir Kak. She did a very wonderful project and did a, she even interviewed to Sikh Gurudwara, which is Sikh temple, and interviewed Sikh refugees who fled from Pakistan to India. And we have also, last couple of years, we have survived with sponsors from individuals, which included, and also this year we have already received a couple of sponsors, which included, of course, Mr. Pradeep Dasgupta and Shubhra Goswami. As you see, I'll come to that later. At the end of this journal we are producing for last 3 years. Now, to raise funds, we are doing, sponsors on the back, full page, half page, and whatnot, and that's how we are surviving. What we also do is that we have, as Shua mentioned, we have an oral history. Now people are based on our work. Large universities are doing their work. Actually, recently Princeton University sent somebody, went to Bangladesh and did some work. And then we have somebody from Columbia University who has done an audio diary on us and put it on YouTube. We didn't even know he did it. He interviewed us. Then we have from Claremont University, then we have people from NYU, from Harvard, they have all contacted us. So, and Delhi University, somebody is doing some, We are doing annual conferences here. Please join our conference on October 18. On the back, we have conference announcement. Please pick up one. We have newsletter. Please pick up one. We have actually Dr. Wayne Edwards. His office is also sponsoring us. One page here. Oh, as I should have mentioned, Joita gave us the largest donation. She gave a $3,000 check for largest donation. Thank you, Joita. And this year also she gave a big check. So we are very. We produce 2 half-yearly newsletters. It goes out by mail, and then we put it onto YouTube. And then we have been producing journals here. We have this year journal we'll be releasing on the day of the conference. We have received already articles from the United States, from India, from Bangladesh, and from Pakistan. So people have heard about us. We are very proud that people are sharing their thoughts, sharing their ideas. We also have what we are calling partition library. Actually, some of the partition related books we have, not just these two, there are more, but we do not have funds to buy more shelves. But some of the books we have, actually very few libraries have in the world. CUNY wanted to buy it, but I didn't sell it. So because, So we also have tried, actually on the back, do you have time for 5 minutes? Go in the next room, we call it one room museum. You will see somebody, including somebody gave a story, history of our family is almost 30 generations in Bangladesh, but because of partition, very few of those families are there. We have documents from actually my mother gave when she, which was a big deal. The governor of Bengal province writes to her, deputy governor, because she stood first in an exam in 1920. And she was, as she was going into that school, as she was moving up, the school was adding a class. So we need volunteers. If there is anybody who can volunteer at least for 3 hours a week, please do let us know. We thank Rajveer for doing. She used to come hang up, not only work. I found out these three were doing other things. They were even cooking lunch together. That was nice, So we need funding. Please let us know if you know of anybody who can help us raise some funds. We are thinking of this space using for regular meetings on a regular basis. There is somebody who had volunteered last year, but somehow she was supposed to be here, is not here, so I'm not going to name the name. But if somebody can hold this thing, we can have regular meetings, even music program and things like that. We welcome your ideas. Please share with others what we are doing. We want to thank SUNY Olvesper for supporting us in the past. They gave us an office until 1 year ago. And Mr. Ashok Karmakar for hosting us for 6 months last year when we had to move from Old Westbury to his office close by. And then we moved here in January. We have a really lot of free books, if you like, actually old books. That means we are not using it, we don't have a place to keep. Right behind Shubra, there is a rack. Please pick up a few of those. Like it's a census books of India and Bangladesh and Pakistan. And after this, we'll be having some snacks they're making, and we'll be doing. Please stay for it. But let me give you something unrelated. All of a sudden, I just thought, I do not give up hope, and it is that things are possible. All of a sudden, this is a book produced called Hindu Temples of Bangladesh. Bangladesh is a Muslim majority, but 400 years ago it's all Hindu. In 400 years it changed very quickly. But what it is, unknowingly, Bangladesh is called that this is a revolution that I created. And this temple, 1990 and 90, it's 300-year-old temple. 1990 and 1992, there were two anti-Hindu pogroms in Bangladesh. They wanted to tear down the temple. But anyway, they didn't. The deities were damaged, destroyed. So when I went there, the local folks asked me to save it. Now, so I wrote to the government, I want to build, just repair it if they would allow me. They didn't respond. But then I wrote from the district magistrate, then to the minister, then to the chief minister, then to the president. Finally, one fine morning, actually this is framed in my office, I get a letter from Bangladesh embassy saying your temple is being repaired. So it is saved there, and then there was a report here that the temple is being saved. So it was saved, and now it is one of the historic places that United Nations have included. It's a big building. By the way, accidentally, not by planning, after Shefali and I visited Pakistan 6-7 years ago in Peshawar, which is the headquarters of Taliban. There, one journalist, Muslim of course, he comes and says, I want your help to save a pre-Islamic temple. Supposedly Buddha had even gone there, called Gaur Khatri Mandir, Shiva Mandir. Indeed it was saved. So finally he asked me some letters to write I wrote, and then one fine morning he sends me an email, sir, they are already repairing it. And then 2011, they gave the key. Actually, there was a Muslim lawyer, Iqbal, the guy who asked me, his name is Imam, and the other lawyer was Iqbal, who helped for the Hindus. So on 2011 September, they gave the key to Leela Devi, a Hindu, for the poor Hindus of the temple. And 2011 Diwali was the first Diwali since 1947 celebrated. And there was a big posters throughout the town. Somebody sent me in those pictures saying this can be done. So don't give up. So there are good people everywhere. Thank you. Come. This is our, thank you. That's my part. So this is Dr. Wayne Edwards. He's a good friend of ISPaD, good friend. So he has come all the way from Provini, from our campus. He's a vice president for student affairs. He calls him the interim, I call regular, vice president for student affairs. So, Dr. Edwards.
Okay, thank you. Do I need this? I don't need this, do I? Yeah?
You have good voice.
Yeah, I have this like this. Okay, so first of all, I'd like to thank Dr. Dastadar for asking me to come and say a few words to you. I've had the pleasure of knowing him now. It's hard to believe, but we're closing in on 20 years. I was at Old Westbury for about 10 years, then I left for 6. And in March of this year, I was asked to come back. So I'm back now, so we're getting close to 20 years. So I thank you for asking me to come today, and it's a pleasure meeting your lovely wife and your son, who I know has his own history with Old Westbury, right? And it's great to see Laura and others from the college here. So what I would like to say is, it's interesting as I sit here and I listen, and you know, we hear about suffering, and we know that suffering, of course, is very personal to those who are suffering. But one thing about suffering on a universal scale, we all have suffered in different ways. So I'm so happy to hear that the conference, the ISPaD conference, has been taking place at Old Westbury and will again, because Old Westbury has one of the most diverse student populations, and certainly in the Northeast, and we were recently recognized as one of the most diverse in the country. So I say that because when we invite students to the conference, no matter where they're from, no matter their ethnicity, their race, their country of origin, they get something from the conference because some of the themes are universal. Okay? So everybody gets something from the conference. So it's a wonderful thing to have the conference out at the college, and we welcome, this is 5th year now?
Yeah.
5th year, wow. It's amazing, and it's my first one, so I'm extra excited, because now I can say not only have I heard about it, but I've participated and witnessed it. So I look forward to that. So I bring you greetings from our president, Dr. Calvin O. Butts III, who cannot be here, but he sends his greetings, and I share his greetings with all of you. Again, I thank you so much for asking me to come. And I'm happy to be here. As Dr. Dastadar can probably tell you, or any married man in the room can tell you, you know, the key to a happy life is a happy wife. And I did make previous plans with my wife. Our daughter's in town. We don't get to see her that much, but she is in town, so we had made previous plans. So if you see me kind of slip out, you know, I'm trying to keep my life happy. But I do thank you so much. This is wonderful. I look forward to meeting all of you, I hope at the conference, and seeing you there, and having a chance to speak with you one-on-one when we have that opportunity. Okay, so thank you.
But to be happy, you want us to be happy too.
Yes.
So, as our Indian or Bengali saying, you are never supposed to leave empty stomach, even if you have full stomach. So at least take some snacks when you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't
Yeah.
leave now.
Don't leave.
Well,
But she has to go.
It's early.
Okay, thank you.
Let me invite, as they talk, let me invite Mrs. Shubhra Goswami. Subra Goswami is a very, very talented lady. She runs a, she is a science teacher, actually math teacher in New York City High School, but her passion is music. She has a beautiful voice and she runs a school called Ranjani. And she could tell you a lot more. She has presented paper in last years at the conference, and the very good theme in terms, she's also coming to present paper this time also. Theme was to how music can bring people together, which was exactly Indian nationalism or Bengali nationalism was. It was a music. So many songs were banned by the British. You couldn't sing songs. Come. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me, and I'm glad that Mr. Dostidar is always give me an opportunity to share my thoughts, because I'm a science teacher in high school, public high school, and always I try to integrate art and science together. So my principals say you are doing the best job, because people are already motivated by music and dance and art. So if you integrate your science with the art and music, that you can reach to them easily. So I opened a school, Ranjani Inc. I'm going to pass you from some flyers, where people of different religious faith, they also come and together and learn our Indian dance and music, and also I give them a chance to explore their culture also. So I did a paper in Bangladesh. Mr. Dostidar also gave me an opportunity to go there, so to integration of to know the science behind the culture. Like I studied the Islamic culture, Hindu culture. I found out in the morning, everybody do the same thing. Look at the sun and they wash their body, which is also in Islam, and also in Hindu they worship as they look at the sun, and they look at the sun, but in Islam they look at the Makkah, same east side. So that paper was very, people appreciated too much. So if you know the similarities among our culture and our religion, so we respect each other. Instead of fighting each other, we can respect each other and live together. That's why I did that paper. I went to Bangladesh. Although my ancestors are from Bangladesh, but we came to India. I born in Calcutta, but I learned a lot of. I heard a lot of stories from my parents and everybody, so I really wanted to go to Bangladesh to do something, not for visit. So Dr. Dostidar gave me an opportunity, and this year in the summer I went to Warwick University to present a paper on music, music as a stratification. When the British colonies introduced theater in our country, but they put music on the side, in the beginning of the theater or at the end of the theater. But after post-colonial period, music was introduced in the theater. The characters are coming from the working class, they are singing and talking of their own message in the theater. That was stratification of music in the theater. I can pass you that book and also some flyers to look at it. So that was very intensive research work I did. And I really like to do some research work to give more to the people. Like as an educator, I like to enjoy the joy of giving and do some constructive work for the productive work for the society. I think I'm very glad he opened this ISPaD office in here. So my idea is if we can start a study group together. Like I really want to know a lot of things from the people who have really have good experience and good study skills, so I can share this to our people and also educate the new generation. That we will not be here forever. The new generation will inherit our culture and also live together in a peaceful way. So I'll pass this flyer and the book. I did the bookmark over there, and you can look at the Warwick Festival booklet where I presented paper, and the Ranjani paper I'm giving you. What is our mission? is to, they can take one and pass it to other people. So I'm just singing one or two lines where we can share our knowledge of wisdom with each other. So the song is in Bengali. Should I sing in Bengali or in Bengali together?
No, it's up to you. Music is music. Yeah.
Like when the British people came to India, and there is a group of music people, the people called folk, who used to sing folk songs, but represent the whole political situation of the country. So there was a group, and they are very frustrated. The people from outside came to our country. They are stopping our culture to explore. So that 1-2 lines I can sing for you. So that represents the whole picture of the society. And they came from Krishnanagar, which is the whole group came to Calcutta to perform, but British, they won't let them perform in the stage, proscenium stage. That's the frustration came to their mind. So we cannot go there to perform. So they used to perform on the street and to common people, and most of them are widows, young age widows. They made a whole group. They are very productive in this way. In this society, the widows was neglected, but Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, who introduced the wedding of the widows, so they are very happy of that. They are criticizing of the Babu class of Calcutta, we're not doing anything, rich idols, they don't do too much productive, but they are in Calcutta. So they are so I'm singing 2-3 lines. Our director Utpal Dutt was in Darao Pothigwar theater. He introduced those folk music. So বাংলায় বসেছে কোম্পানি রাজায় প্রজায় সেলাম বাজায় কৃপায় হয় ধনী মানে কৃপায় হয় ধনী মানে রসে রাজা হয় ভিখারি অঙ্গিতে হয় মুকুটধারী তোপের মুখে হুকুম জারি ভাঙে গড়ে রাজধানী বাংলায় বসেছে কোম্পানি. Then the group of the people come whose music and dance. The widowed people and other people and women are singing. Babuder Josh gaite mon chaina. She's the pere bhandurete bap ma ke dana khete. Hatat babu matite hate pana phele. Karo sahebi ana abc pore. খালি বারে বাক্কি ঝাড়ে খালি বারে বাক্কি ঝাড়ে কারো গভীর হিন্দু আনি তলানো যায় না বাবুদের যশ গাইতে মন চায় না. So they are criticizing the Babu class which was in Calcutta. They actually are not productive for the society. They drink at night and don't respect their parents, and somebody are really they think they are very super class just by dress, and some fundamentals are very Hindu fundamentals. They do the caste system, so they are criticizing everybody who are not productive for the society. And then they are admiring the Vidyasagar who introduced the wedding marriage. Vidhava vibaho protha কলির প্রধান স্থান কলিকাতা নগরে উঠেছে অতিরা নগরে উঠেছে অতিরা. This is so they are criticizing and admiring the people who are productive for society. I really was in that drama, and Satyajit Ray, who got the Oscar, he came and hugged the Utpal Dutt and saying that I saw Michael. So it was a great experience for me. I want to introduce all my experience to the new generation of Ranjini. So as you see in the pictures in the group, they are from all religions. They are Muslims, they are Christians, they are Hindus, they are other young generation. I'm not a religious bias in my group and giving the most to them, which I know. If Dr. Dostidar open a study group, that will be very helpful for me. And also he requested it to me to teach Indian Tagore song, which I have a degree on that from Shantiniketan, and semi-classical.